of trade union stands for. And such people who think that they are going to continue using the organization to pursue selfish interests should be able to understand, or at least to be reminded, why they themselves were put in place in the first place. Where were you elected? I want to appeal to the members who have been elected to remember, to understand one thing, is they must deliver service to the workers. If you do not know how to deliver that service, ask, continue seeking for knowledge, and make sure you function independently to help the working people to be able to get a service. I've already explained and emphatically that the workers of Uganda are going through a lot of difficulties, and we ourselves who are managing workers' organizations have betrayed the working people. Do not add salt to an injury. As you come to office, as you start this struggle now, regardless of how you have come, remember the future of so many workers is going to be dependent on the decisions you are going to make. If you make reckless decisions, the workers are going to suffer. If you make decisions that are going to help drive the organization progressively towards helping the workers, workers will be happy. And probably you will go in record for having done something more useful. Please do not listen and accept the deception, the manipulations, the mischief, the misguided elements who are driven, who are bent on pursuing selfish interests into misleading you to do a wrong thing. Stand up as an individual who actually understands what you are supposed to do and help fight for the rights of the working people. Personally, I have told you that I refuse to participate in all these processes of leadership, struggle for leadership, because I want to continually keep reminding you of your responsibilities, your role. And you should be able to make sure that you do not forget. Stand up and do things the right way. If you do not, you stand a risk of facing challenges from some of us. I know that I've already had some people around threatening that, okay, I'm going to fight. I'll fight Robert. I'll be able to fight this. Who fight who? And for what? Simply deliver service. Do you understand what leadership is all about? You are fighting me for one reason. And are you sure you are going to fight me? Because there are certain things you are better off keeping quiet and concentrate on the aspect of rendering a service to the workers so that everybody else can really see. I see a situation where people struggle for leadership, but they don't know why are they struggling for leadership. Leadership is not for fighting people. Leadership is designed for service. You don't acquire a position so that you can be able to fight someone. Then for you are misguided and you should never have been in office in the first place. You should use the power that you have achieved to help serve people. You are servants. But now in the circumstances where you see people now vowing, remember where you came from. Some of you were really coming from, you came from backgrounds that you even feel ashamed of talking about yourselves. You are even ashamed to talk about how you came. But now that you have achieved something very small, you are now bragging, making yourself feel that you are really very important. My friend, you are nothing. You are nothing, because these positions we are holding are positions that have been held by several people long before we came into existence. There is completely nothing new. And the person who is going to be a leader, and the person who is going to render a service, will render a service whether or not you are holding some of those positions of leadership. There are some people who are holding those positions of leadership, but actually they are worse off. Then you find another person who actually has nothing, no position, is being more useful to society. So success of an individual is not going to be determined by the positions you hold. And the position you hold is not a matter of life and death. Positions you hold, pursuit for power should never be a matter of life and death. You simply hold positions of leadership, normally like anybody else hold a position of leadership, and they use that position to serve the people. Don't use positions to intimidate people, because there are some people who will never accept to be intimidated. And even when you try to do so, you may never succeed. Because the most important thing right now we must understand is that we have got workers somewhere in Kanungu. We have got some workers somewhere in Gulu. We have workers somewhere in Hoima. We have workers somewhere in Kitagata. We have workers in some places in the Lango region there, Oyam, Otuke, wherever, all those places, workers exist there. And those workers are working under very deplorable working conditions. Our major focus should not be on whom I should put down. Our major focus should be on how do I change that worker in Otuke so that he can really be able to live a better life. Our major focus should be how do I change that worker in Kabale to help him or her live a better life. But if your focus is on fighting people who are in leadership because you want to gain supremacy, and the supremacy that is not informed by any form of a service, you are totally misguided. You must seek for supremacy, but the supremacy derived from rendering a service. Let people know you by the work you are doing. Do not be known merely by fighting. And the only thing you can talk about is fighting. When you try to look at the track record of how many people you have helped to bring out of the problems they have, there is nothing. You are the only one who understands the service you are giving the people. The people themselves, even when you say you have served, they wonder, what did this person do? Is that the kind of supremacy you are talking about? Supremacy must be reflected in the service you give the people. And don't come and tell me that I have done this. I should be able to see what you have done. Don't just talk. I want to see what you have done that has changed the lives of the people. And this is the kind of leadership we all look forward to. If you do not know, seek guidance and you will be helped. But honestly, I have seen people in the trade union movement today who have held positions of leadership. And the only thing they do, the only thing they brag about is I have helped to bring someone down. This one was joking with me, I brought him down. This one was doing this, I did this. I blasted him. I am superior. My friend, there is no supremacy there. You are fooling yourself. There is completely nothing that will be remembered for, because every simple-minded person does that. Everybody with a simple mind will think that if I bring someone down, then I have succeeded. That's foolishness. That's foolishness, and we should never have leaders who have that kind of thinking to ascend to positions of responsibility. We must have leaders who are humble, who are going to serve people with humility, not with arrogance. You know you have not done anything, but still you continue wanting to insist that I must continue on. You know you are defeated. Problems have become so complicated to you when you meet people. You are also lamenting. You don't know what to do. Is that what leadership is all about? Is that what leadership is all about? People are stuck in problems and you are also stuck there. You cannot come up with a formula, for example, on how to help trade unions to organize. You cannot come up with a formula of how to help trade unions to train their people. You cannot help workers, trade unions, on how to assist them to resolve grievances. Those are the things, these issues which matter most. You cannot help trade unions on how they can be able to build themselves economically, financially, so that they can be able to finance their own activities. I want leaders who are going to be able to focus and say, yes, I found this union with no membership. I've helped this union has grown this membership from maybe 1,000, now they have 10,000. Yeah, that's leadership. I I have helped this union did not have a mechanism of resolving grievances. Now they have developed a grievance handling mechanism which is effectively functional, and they are able to resolve their differences internally. That is a service. I have helped trade unions who have now managed to train tutors who are now training their members to be able to understand their rights, to be able to understand how to claim for their rights in a manner which is civilized. That is leadership. I have helped these trade unions to participate in collective bargaining with their employers in a manner that is progressively improving the working terms and conditions of service. That is leadership. I have helped trade unions in the state in which they are to ensure that they understand different forms of generating finances so that they do not rely on their salaries. That would be leadership. Now, when we look at all of these things that workers must be able to understand, when we look at the things that workers